Before I get to the subject at hand, there is one thing which I need to clarify before people in turn make a straw man out of me and presume that I'm advocating something which I'm not. I'm not advocating that people at turn and say, oh well, the band looks so cute and so dreamy and that's why the music is good. It's not because of their lyrical talent, fuck that. It's because they're so dreamy and so beautiful and I just want to live with them together in bliss, in harmony. I'm not defending those people because I can get down with the idea that they're delusional fucking idiots that make correlation fallacies claiming that their looks correlate to their music. And that's far from the truth. It's blatantly obvious that that's far from the fucking truth. I don't need the looks of Brad Pitt just to know how to hit a fucking drum. So yeah, it's established that I find these people to be fucking idiots. But anyways, less of that. What I'm going to be talking about in this video isn't about them. It's about the people that turn and stigmatise arousal and art as this inherently bad thing. Just because someone might find a piece of music, or just piece of art in general, to be erotic. I've never gotten why people stigmatise it as this inherently bad thing. Because as an artist, you're there to convey emotions. You're there to evoke emotions into people. Make them react to your art in an emotional way. And make them view it and say, whoa, this changed me, this moved me. And one way you can do that is through being aroused. Arousal is a very powerful feeling because we are born to want to fuck. And how do we fuck? With a sex drive. What's your sex drive? Being aroused. Being aroused is a key feature which is essential in our reproductive cycle. So using that to convey an emotion, convey a plot into music can actually be beneficial. Many artists seem to latch on the emotions which seem to be the most captivating to people. That's why many artists make their songs fearful, because people gravitate to fear. It's a big emotion, and that's why people use arousal in art. That's why we try and make the art to be arousing, to turn people on, because it will make people look at it and say, wow, this piece of art stimulates me. But many people seem to have a very narrow view on it, just because it's that. Just because it's arousal. That's why it's bad. Just because it's got that stigma towards it. People turn and say, oh well, it's just that. There's not really much of an explanation, just look at it. And that's one thing that fucking irritates me. The music video Saint by Marilyn Manson wasn't just smut for the sake of smut. It was there to convey a plot. It was there to convey an emotional catharsis on Manson's part, of him expressing his feelings on an extremely emotional level, with extreme wordplay, which was so fucking beautiful. And he just so happened to incorporate sex into it. Predominantly the stuff like BDSM, bondage, and even bisexual stuff thrown in there every now and then. And that was one thing which managed to gravitate to the audience, because it catches people's eye. It makes people look and say, whoa, look at this. But that's not to say that everything Manson does is just there for shock value. It's obviously more than just shock value. Marilyn Manson has deep meanings for his stuff. If he was just going for shock value, he'd just turn and say, I am the Antichrist. But he doesn't do that. He incorporated the Antichrist in a very unique and perplexed way. And it's not just Marilyn Manson that does this stuff. It's many other artists that incorporate fear and arousal into their music. Especially the both tied in together. It's an interesting combination. And just because someone turns and says, I am aroused by this piece of art, it's fucking stupid. Look in the olden days. Look when there was art sculptures of naked men showing the natural beauty of a human man in the most bluntest way possible. People interpret that as a piece of art. Many people look at that and say, whoa, that's beautiful. That's arousing. And that's why people fucking like it. Because it's a representation of the human body. But it also incorporates arousal, because the human body is something which arouses humans. Not a lot of people seem to raise eyebrow when people look at the olden days and look at the naked sculptures of men and say, whoa, this is a wonderful piece of art. So why do people turn when people say, look at that, it's arousing, this arousing piece of art? Why do people stigmatise that as bad? It's an emotion evoked from the art. Everyone interprets art in a different way. What's so fucking wrong with being aroused by it? It makes no sense.